It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports. And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the reigning Super Bowl champs and the Patriots, and it comes your way next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us roughly midway between Boston and Providence. Everybody knows it as Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. All the success in New England over the last few decades, and this crowd has never been more enthusiastic. A moment ago, the Pats emerged from their locker room. They are set as they'll square off with the Cleveland Browns. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Patriots team entering play.
Brandon Gaudin alongside the one and only Charles Davis. And CD, lots of compelling storylines in a game like this. Let's take a look at some of the numbers for these two offenses.
And I'm glad you brought up the numbers because sometimes it's hard to quantify a team's performance solely by judging the numbers. But I think with these two teams, what you see is a pretty accurate representation of who they are.
So now the Patriots getting set to take over on offense.
They're led by their quarterback from the University of Alabama, Mac Jones.
Mac Jones absolutely believed in himself coming out of high school. Went to Alabama despite the fact there were many high-profile quarterbacks already on the roster and blossomed into a Heisman Trophy candidate in his final season with 41 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions. Steady, consistent as a passer, doesn't have the biggest cannon for an arm, but can stretch the field and lay those passes in on the deep ball.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. A look at the numbers for Harrison last week's game. 15 carries, 57 yards.
They've won 2 straight games, and they've done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't think about doing anything else. I continue to ride the hot hand that I've established and lead with the runners.
All right.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Throwing Jones. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6. To try again after the sack. Jones. Incomplete.
You definitely would like to hit on that one because now you've got a 3rd and long showing up, and you just know defense is going to be getting after it. They are pinning their ears back, and they are coming.
And he'll let this go deep for Bourne.
And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. The Patriots send out their punter. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. Leading them out is their quarterback, the former 12th overall pick. Some refer to him as the natural, Deshaun Watson.
In his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
Not much room to run. Just gets it to the 35 after showcasing his tough running. A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. 24 carries, 132 yards, and a touchdown.
So he scored his 8th touchdown on the ground last week, and most guys...
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long after that sack. What does Watson have in his arsenal? Flush to his right. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. It's Kyler Duggar who picks it. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
So a 1st and... And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They hand this off to Harris. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. Well, this defense for the Browns, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Throw left side, going to be taken in by Harris. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Now Jones. There's Henry. Touchdown, Patriots. Hunter Henry. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Pats have taken the early lead. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. That time a 6-play drive. And it's finished off by a Pats touchdown. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And no return here for White. It'll be a touchback. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. A run for Nick Chubb. Oh, he bowls over him. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
So, CD, you talk about this football team. Some of the whispers and reports, the social media posts, they hint at a locker room that's splintered, badly splintered. There was talk earlier, some guys might walk away entirely. But that hasn't happened, however, at least to this point.
No, and sometimes some of that talk is just that, talk. I mean, guys often say, that's it, I'm out of here. And then they realize, I'm not ready to retire yet. What am I going to do now? And they're really ready to come back and dive back in. In fact, we've got guys who are wearing gold jackets in the Hall of Fame. They talked about retirement the last 6, 7 years of their career or so. That's not always real. And sometimes you just have to go ahead and ride it out. And this is an opportunity now for everyone in this locker room to move forward.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Patriots take over. The Pats at the line ready to go.
5-3 their record at the halfway point, and you have to imagine that there are folks saying, hey, if we do that again in the second half, we're 10-6 and we're a playoff team.
I do think, though, that they have a couple things working against them, and number one, the schedule, that's going to toughen up a bit because they've got some division games down the stretch, and those are always difficult. Number two, you know they've got to stay healthy. That's the key to getting to the playoffs and winning in the playoffs. But they've got a shot at it. This is a good football team.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter from Foxborough. It's the homestanding Patriots with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Jones. Open man is Kendrick Bourne. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 47. Back to throw. Jones. Got the connection here to Bourne. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Jones throw there, taken in by Smith. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They run with Harris. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Operating from the gun. Jones toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. And his kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. Here's Kareth White on the return. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. With the football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. 4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be, because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we've wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Watson. He'll buy some time right. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. From the gun, here's Watson. Out to his left. Dumps this to his running back, Chubb. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big play there on the catch and run.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Watson, sliding out of the pocket. Oh, now he'll try and check it deep left side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
So that, Charles, a season long, and since he's a rookie, I guess we can go ahead and call that a career long as well.
I love how you put that together because, you know, as everyone at home was saying, okay, has to be career, right, since he's a rookie. Well done by you, but I definitely like what I've seen from him so far this year. Very distinguished college career. He's looking right at home here in the NFL.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Damian Harris of the Patriot offense ready to take over again.
He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Meanwhile, Jones' throw complete there to Smith.
A gain of 6 there on 1st. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
4 yards remain for 2nd down.
Looking to throw. Jones. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So now it appears they're going to accept the penalty, which means take away the interception. Also means keep your defense on the field. Don't understand this.
And he is in. Touchdown, New England. It's the fullback with his first career NFL touchdown.
And the Patriots are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 17-3. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Now a first down throw. Watson on the move to his left. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down. Here's Watson rolling to his right. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
On first down, Watson eluding the pressure right. They'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. From the 44, Watson flushed out right. And his throw here is incomplete.
And the end result of that play, you're almost not sure what you really want, because when he gets outside of the pocket, you actually hold your breath because you think he's going to run for big yardage. But when he chose to pull it down and throw it, and a play was made to knock it away, that's a pretty good end result. Not one you expected when the play began.
He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up fourth down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this one is right down the middle. So we've reached halftime here at Gillette Stadium with the Patriots on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, all right, Brandon. Thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Jameis Winston, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. From there, we head over to MetLife Stadium to check in on the Jets. And they trail the visiting Denver Broncos in that one. 2 touchdown passes there for Russell Wilson. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore. Check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Houston Texans. Sony Michel, a touchdown run in the victory. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Browns. And you can see their quarterback was able to have some success when he tucked the ball down and ran with it. That might not be a priority going forward, but it's something that opposing defense is going to have to be wary of. Meanwhile, for the Patriots, we move from scrambling numbers to rushing numbers as a whole. And they have to be happy with what they've seen so far as they've got the lead here at the break.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football. Here's White. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Second down, here's Chubb again. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 46 yards rushing for him now to this point. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Steps away. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quitting him.
0.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Now it's Watson. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Donovan Peoples-Jones. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns are back within a score. Kevin Stefanski going to leave the offense out to go for 2. Look here, Watson rolling to his left. And he will get into the end zone to shave 2 more points off the deficit. Well, I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
So here are the Patriots to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. A handoff to Harris to begin the drive. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Called it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there. So from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Here's Jones to throw on 3rd down. And he'll let this go deep for Bourne. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Browns are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Well, things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. If they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Chubb. Bust through the tackle. And he's going to have a Browns 1st down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Chubb with a carry on 1st down. It's not going to yield much, maybe a yard. It's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 9. Watson now to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And some space here. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 87 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. He finds his way into the secondary again on this drive. They might want to try getting him down a little closer to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, what do they call that? Third level run. First level being the D-line and linebacker. Second level in the secondary, the third. When you block it up well and you make the secondary do all the tackling, that will wear on a defense.
Is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Foxborough. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. They go with Chubb on second down. He takes this down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Go.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Watson. Flush to his right. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Deshaun Watson, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Browns have taken the lead.
So quite the comeback here. They have erased that deficit, pushed themselves out in front now here in this fourth quarter.
Well, this game's kind of felt like a horse race, hasn't it, partner? Because, yeah, the other guys run out to their big lead, but then slowly and surely, they've been creeping up and closing that gap. Now they've stuck ahead in front here late in the game. The finish line's not far away. They need their defense to finish this thing off.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Taking it about the 1. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. And now they'll look to answer working from behind. And remember, this offense has sputtered yet to score here in the second half. They'll need to change that here.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. They run again with Harris. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively.
And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Back to throw. Jones.
Quick completion to Henry.
A gain of 6 there on 1st. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
On 2nd down, it's Harris.
And he's going to have a Patriots first down as good running gets him to about the 44.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. 2nd and 20.
Another try after the first down sack. Jones, it's brought in by Harris. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
22, he's covering 22.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
He'll let this go deep for Bourne, and that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage excellent there downfield, and it leads to a 4th down.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
They'll try and wind down some clock with Chubb. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15. You know, I was going to ask you if maybe they should surprise and pass the ball, but where they're at on the field, I think keep it on the ground, right?
I like where you're going with this one because field position is going to determine these play calls. And backed up where they are, I don't even think about putting the ball in the air. I tell my running backs, grasp the football, and I tell my offensive line, don't allow any leaks so they get hit immediately when we hand it off.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Fighting him off and brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Chubb. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35.
111 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now the Patriots will use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. They give the Chubb out of the gun. And he'll take it across the 50 and into New England territory.
Oh, yeah!
The Patriots will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Handoff comes to Chubb. And he'll get it down here to the 43.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
A bit of an opening there on the 1st down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. A give. This is Chubb. Powers through him. Runs through another. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more. A little insult to injury here late in the game. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Cleveland, the win gets them back over 500 at 5-4 on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for New England,
Be right back in a minute.
Back in week 1, the Browns lost a blowout in their first matchup against the Ravens. Can Baltimore do it again? Find out next on Madden Football.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Here's a scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Cleveland Browns. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, CD, this is a passing league. I don't think you would argue that thought. But our ball game here features a couple of teams with strong offensive lines that really like to work the ground game.
And you and I have both heard from different people in the league who's saying that it's becoming a little bit of a lost art in the NFL, the ability to run the football. And we've heard from defensive coordinators who tell us that they play the pass first. That's not something you normally hear. But these two offenses, they're true to who they are. Both ranked in the top 5 in terms of rushing yardage. I think they're both going to use those massive offensive lines to try and wear down these defenses.
Season is hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. They will be led out by their dual-threat quarterback, the veteran from Clemson. It's Deshaun Watson.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He's able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
And despite a nice juke there, really good move, he only gets about a yard, and it brings up second down. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. A shotgun snap for Watson, out to his left. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Second down, here's Chubb again.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the others, you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. From the 50, it's Watson. They'll roll him out right. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Back to throw, Watson. Eluding the pressure right. Got a man, that's Rashard Higgins. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Little glimpse of his athleticism there and what they're going to have to deal with. He can use his legs to dance around back behind the line of scrimmage and beyond the line of scrimmage.
And wouldn't you love to get a copy of their defensive scouting report going into the week? Because that's been stressed the whole time. Keep him bottled up. Keep him in the pocket. But it's the first drive of the game and emotions are running high. Someone forgot that, trying to make a big play, and gave up a bigger one instead.
Now Chubb. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Now Watson. On the move to his left. Drops it off for Chubb. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds.
That's a nice job there knowing what his options are. He's out of the pocket to his left. And I thought maybe he'd think about running with this one, but he uses his vision instead. Finds his man on the left sideline, and they convert on 3rd down.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. They'll try again with Chubb, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the Browns take it right down the field and score on the opening drive.
Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Now for the point after. It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And Nick Chubb the one to finish it off as he does so with a touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
Be right back in a minute.
Come up now, 1st and 10 at their own 24. Off play action. Jackson. Now he'll escape to his left. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Well, these two teams, they met up way back in the season opener. And it was the Ravens getting the road victory in that one. So now they'll look to finish off the season sweep here in Baltimore.
He finds his man complete. That's Curtis. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
That's a really good game right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a 1st down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
They run the option on 2nd down.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block, it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Jackson's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw complete there to Bateman.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
The throw over the middle taken in. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
So that was a very nice play, Charles, from a very speedy cornerback.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Jackson going to look to run with it.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. And he's been busy with his feet. He's been quite the scrambling man.
And obviously that can break down a defense, but a lot of it is just that they just get trapped with worrying about it so much that other things break down as well. You know, you break the huddle, and you're not just playing what comes out at you. You're like, oh, God, don't let him outside of the pocket. Don't let him beat us with his legs. And then he starts to beat you other ways.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
So, CD, you talk about this football team. Some of the whispers and reports, the social media posts, they hint at a locker room that's splintered, badly splintered. There was talk earlier, some guys might walk away entirely. But that hasn't happened, however, at least to this point.
No, and sometimes some of that talk is just that, talk. I mean, guys often say, that's it, I'm out of here. And then they realize, I I'm not ready to retire yet. What am I going to do now? And they're really ready to come back and dive back in. In fact, we've got guys who are wearing gold jackets in the Hall of Fame that talked about retirement the last 6-7 years of their careers. So that's not always real. And sometimes you just have to go ahead and ride it out. And this is an opportunity now for everyone.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Malik Harrison came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd and long. It's Watson. Flushed out right. That's going to be brought in by Higgins. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on 3rd down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a 1st down.
A run for Nick Chubb. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
These two teams met in Baltimore. You might remember earlier in the year with the Ravens winning that game. So a win here in Baltimore would give them the season sweep.
Steps away to his left. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. Out of the gun, Watson. He'll buy some time right. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
From the red zone now, Watson dancing to his left. And it's caught. Touchdown. Rashard Higgins. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns have taken the lead.
Let's go.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this 2nd quarter. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. That time a 9-play drive. And it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
The Raven offense going to take over late in this 1st half. And with just under a minute to go, they might try to think about mounting a drive here if they can and get in the end zone to potentially tie this game up.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. He's going to float this one deep right side. He's got a man, complete. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the 1st half. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Jackson.
That's taken in by Duvernay.
The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this 1st half. To throw again on 2nd down, Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he will have a Ravens 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Throwing again on second down. Jackson. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with the lead. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. And it's the Giants who are out in front in the second quarter. Kenny Golladay, a touchdown reception. From there, it's up to Highmark Stadium to check in on the Bills. And this one going the visitors' way as the Cardinals have the lead in that one. Rondale Moore, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Dallas Cowboys. Randall Cobb, a touchdown reception. On to a look at the next-gen stats for the Browns in that first half. And they've had some success on the ground. And with the lead going into the second half, they'll no doubt be looking to keep it going. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break. Both teams going back through their game plans, making their final halftime adjustments. And for the call of the second half, we go back up to Baltimore and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down. Here's Jackson to throw. Escaping the pressure right.
And Jackson going to have the first down as he will get to the ground to avoid the contact.
Normally we're talking about a quarterback duel where they're matching each other pass for pass. How about the footwork in this from both of these guys running the ball well?
Yeah, they mixed in the run game. You're exactly right. Now, both coaches might not like how much their quarterbacks have taken off, but another example right there of just good mobility. Not much there, only a yard.
2nd and 9.
Now it's Jackson. And his pass incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Myles Garrett in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. Fielded at the 20. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
They begin this drive with Chubb. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. On 2nd and 11 now. Watson, flush to his right. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
Now Chubb running right. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
They'll try the air now with Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And the Ravens have got it.
So turnovers, Charles, you figure will be key in the second half, and that's a big giveaway there.
Yeah, and as you and I both know, coaches are always preaching ball security, and none more often than right here in the second half of a tight football game. Now you've got to believe what the coaches are saying and take care of that football.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
From the gun, it's Jackson. He's going to find his tight end, Boyle. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Now Jackson. And incomplete on the deep ball.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland.
And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
65 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
A give running right is Chubb. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Sliding out of the pocket. He opted to go with his scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting the sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10.
So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive, because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the first quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And good pressure defensively to stop him for a loss of a couple. Now there's also a flag to go with it. Well, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way.
And the Browns' pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Here's Sam Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Returnable here from the 38. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. Second down, here's Chubb again. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And he's got this down to the 35.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the 4th. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Because his primary job is defending against the pass, you don't often see a cornerback making tackles in the backfield, but he's playing run all the way here.
Second down, here's Chubb again. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, no, he lost the football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. And again, it's Chubb. Down to the 25. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Now it's Watson. Flushed out right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They'll run with Chubb. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. This defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Second down, here's Chubb again.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Chubb. It looks like he's going to be stopped short of the first down by about a yard. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And his kick is indeed good. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger. And dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Browns, it's an important win in terms of staying in the postseason race as they move to 6-4. And they will head home next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they come back to the pack a bit as their record falls to 7-3. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons.